right, let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Today is Friday, June 14th, and the Yankees were in Beantown to take on the Boston Red Sox in Game 1 of a 3-game set. Luis Gil on the mound looking to continue his great season. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Hello. My name is Derek. What are all of your names? Welcome back, everybody. It's an incredible fact that the Yankees are just now playing the Red Sox here on June 14th. But who better to get our 50th win against this season? All right. 50 wins, 22 losses. They remain in first place in the American League East, best record in baseball right now. And the Orioles and Phillies are tied at 3. Their game is delayed, so they're going through a rain delay. But chance for the Yankees to possibly extend that lead a little bit further. Verdugo, 2-run home run tonight, 4 RBIs. Really great night for him in his return to Fenway. Not Luis Gil's best outing, but still you'll take 5 innings of 1-run baseball every time. Fastball command wasn't what it usually is, but the velocity was there. He threw some good changeups. He wasn't throwing the slider much. But again, you'll take 5 innings in 1 run. They let him go a couple of batters longer than I thought they would. And because of that, he was able to pick up his 9th win of the season. So he is now 9-1 on the season with a 2.04 ERA. Just fantastic. Garrett Cole made a rehab start tonight. He went 4 1/3 innings. We'll talk about that in a second. But before we get to the recap, we did get some bad news about a prospect tonight, or actually this afternoon. Everson Pereira had Tommy John surgery. We've seen more and more position players have Tommy John surgery over the last few years. Aaron Hicks had it. Bryce Harper had it. Didi Gregorius had it. Of course, Jason Dominguez had it. And now Everson Pereira. But, hitters can recover from that a little bit quicker than pitchers. So I'd imagine he'll be back at some point next season. We saw both Harper and Dominguez and also Ohtani come back with full strength as a hitter and with the power. So, you're losing the time, Everson Pereira, but no reason that you can't come back just as strong a player. And he was having a good season. So hopefully we'll get him back. There's a chance that they could still trade him at the deadline. Yankees traded Dustin Fowler while he was injured, so don't count that out. But anyway, Clay Holmes debate was fun in the comments this morning. Obviously he blew the game the other day. There was some comments about, it was lucky and the positioning was wrong. But we got one comment from a guy named Ridge Manor that I wanted to address. He said, "Oh yeah, Holmes gives up a squibbler that Rizzo is too slow on getting to. Then he gives up a punch and Judy hit to center, and the third guy gets a hit on a routine grounder to third." First of all, not a routine grounder to third. I reject that premise. He said, "I guess it was his fault that Boone or DJ or the other coaches didn't follow the cardinal rule of guarding third baseline with 2 outs and runners on first and third, which would have resulted in basic ground ball out. Do you want to discuss how the fans on this side are the dumbest in the league?" Allow me to retort, if you will. Look, I know you think you're dunking on us, but you're actually making our point for us. The point that we're making isn't that Clay Holmes is a bad reliever. Clay Holmes is a great reliever. The point we're making is that he doesn't strike out enough guys and miss enough bats for those low-margin, late-inning and extra-inning games. Right? The ability to get swings and misses out of the closer spot is crucial because of the small margins of error. Getting strikeouts removes factors like positioning, bad hops, squibblers, punch and Judy. It removes all that. When you're trying to seal a win, you want to minimize variables and maximize your chances of getting easy outs. And there's no easier outs than strikeouts. So you have to look beyond the results and think about how predictable those results are. It's one thing to have a bad result. It's another thing to have a bad result that was entirely predictable because of the type of pitcher you had in there for that spot. You can never control 100% of the outcome in a tight game, but you can make it much more predictable. I've seen a few comments that say, but he's got 4 blown saves. That's not that many. Well, he's also had a few that he got extremely lucky on. Remember early in the season? Cardiac Clay? Great defensive play here. Rocket right at somebody, a ball that just twists foul but is right down the line, just miss a home run. He could easily have 7 or 8 blown saves at this point. And again, I like Clay Holmes. I don't want to make it sound like the Yankees should get rid of him or anything like that. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because there was a lot of debate in the comments. I want him on the team. He's an elite relief pitcher. But the fact is that hitters are hitting 263 against him, and he's got a 1.30 whip. So anyway, Garrett Cole made his what could be his final rehab start tonight. He went 4 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, but it was not earned. 0 walks, 10 strikeouts. Fastball averaged 94.6 miles an hour, topped out at 97.8. Sounds freaking ready to me. Maybe a tick down from his usual 98 to 100 that he throws with the Yankees, but that'll be back when the adrenaline is back. 10 strikeouts and no walks in 4 1/3 innings. Sign me up. I don't want him wasting any more bullets in the minor leagues. And if he stays on schedule, he'll pitch next Wednesday night at home in the Bronx against the Orioles. Big, big game. Erik Kratz said that he would most likely join me for the postgame that night so we can kind of break down how he looks from a professional catcher's perspective. It's going to be a hot ticket. Guaranteed one of the biggest crowds in the season. He threw 70 pitches tonight, had 23 swings and misses. I just don't want him throwing any more pitches down in the bushes. Get him back up. All right, let's get to the recap.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
Another good night for the Yankees. Top of the first inning, opposite field double from Juan Soto off the monster. It looked like it was almost accidental. He kind of got under it, and it just kind of sailed off the wall. 2 batters later, Alex Verdugo came up, first at bat at Fenway since he got traded, and the crowd did not give him a warm welcome. Lots of boos, and Doogie responded.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Bob Sherman says Alex Verdugo revenge series. I like it. 2-run shot straight away center field. My instant reaction was, yeah, he seems like the kind of guy that would do that. Just like when Ryan Dempster drilled A-Rod and A-Rod took him deep. A-Rod gets a lot of crap, but he had an edge to him, too, as a player. Verdugo didn't like getting booed by that crowd that he felt like he put in the work for. But maybe they were saying boo earns. I was saying boo earns. Hardcore Simpsons fans will understand that reference. Anyway, I don't know if Verdugo's going to return to the Yankees or not, but if he is 1 year and done, I'm going to remember him fondly, no matter what. He's a good outfielder. He's clutch as hell. He's just got the edge that I want in a ball player, and he brought it all night tonight. Luis Gil was pumped up from the very beginning tonight, maybe a little too pumped up. Didn't have great command of the fastball, but the velocity was up. He was 100 miles an hour on his first strikeout. He had another one at 99 early in the game. You go and look at the StatCast numbers, a ton of pitches over 99 tonight. Just blistering stuff early. Worked into a tiny jam in the 3rd inning, but pitched out of it with a pop-out and a strikeout of Tyler O'Neill. Top 4, Giancarlo ripped a line drive single off the left field wall. 115 miles an hour off the bat. Absolute laser beam. He came in to score on an error by Brian Bayo. Easy play at first base that gave the Yankees a 3-0 lead. He just kind of dropped it. But Red Sox did get a run off a heel in the 4th. He had a couple of walks in the inning. Pitched out of a 2nd and 3rd 1-out jam with a couple of overpowering strikeouts. I thought his night kind of turned around right there. Yankees got the run right back. Volpe singled, then stole 2nd and 3rd. Judge walked, and then Verdugo laced an RBI double off the monster. That made it 4-1. Good night for Verdugo. Rizzo had another good night. He had 2 hits tonight. Line drive single to make it 5-1, second hit of the game. He's had some better swings the last couple of days. Home run yesterday, multi-hit game today. I tell you, if he is actually coming back around, that will be huge because he has looked done. I mean, done for the last few weeks. He hasn't looked like he's slumping. He's looked like he's bad. And maybe it is a mechanical tweak, but he is swinging the bat much better. And then, there's always that question with the older players when they go into a really bad slump. Is it just a slump or is it the beginning of the end? And I'll tell you, it looked like the end, but he's coming around. Luis Gil was done after 5 innings. Again, not his best game, but if you do the math, 5 innings and 1 run is a 1.80 ERA. So his ERA actually went down tonight. 4 hits allowed, 4 walks allowed, but also just completely dominated in some key situations. Had 6 strikeouts tonight, a lot of them with runners on base. 2.03 ERA on the season now, 9-1 record, 96 strikeouts, 80 innings, and a 0.98 whip. You will absolutely take that. The real deal, indeed. Hell of a job this season. His 160 batting average against is the lowest for any pitcher's first 21 starts since 1920. That's over a century. Pretty good. Tommy Kahnle was not sharp out of the bullpen tonight. Walked a couple of guys in a row, but got out of it with a little help from Victor Gonzalez. Nice job by Caleb Ferguson tonight. He had 4 strikeouts out of the 4 outs he got. 1 in the 3rd innings, 4 Ks. Doesn't get much better than that. Really nice job by Michael Tonkin. Came into the 8th, pitched the 9th. He threw 1 in the 3rd scoreless innings. He's got a 2.35 ERA. He continues to pitch well with the Yankees. Yankees did tack on some runs in the 9th. First one, courtesy of Jose Trevino. Solo shot over the monster. 7th home run of the season. And then Judge followed up with an RBI double. He had been slumping a little bit, struck out at 6 times in a row at one point. He struck out 4 times yesterday, first 2 times tonight, so it was not looking good. But came out of it, got a double. He's got now 22 doubles and 63 RBIs on the season. And the Yankees hang on to win a one-sided game in Fenway. And by the way, Celtics, last I looked, were getting creamed.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Mark Stenroos wants to know if Tonkin is a candidate for closer, or at least a setup reliever. Well, they mentioned it on the broadcast tonight. He keeps getting more high leverage situations. I don't know about closer, but he continues to get high leverage opportunities. They must like something about him. They like his release point, little sidearm, whatever. And, you know, guys with mustaches, look, they're just hard to hit. Ask Jeff Nelson, you know. Ask Ron Guidry. It's always the mustache. All right, guys. Belt tonight. Who else could we give it to but the man who got revenge on an entire city, Alex Verdugo. Celtics lost, by the way. Blowout, 122-84. And to think, they almost moved the game up. It actually ended up getting delayed by over an hour because of rain. But, hey, them's the breaks. Them's the breaks, Boston. You guys have had a lot of success in recent years, and you're due. You're due to have a little bit of a downtime. Red Sox have been down for a bit, but, you know, Celtics for one night. I guess they still lead 3-1, but for one night, taking it on the chin. Oven Anaconda says, DFA Judge, only 1 hit in his last 2 games. He's washed. We got a lot of calls about Judge. I don't know if you guys went back and listened to him, but you know, I don't know what the issue was early in the season. It was probably just not enough at bats in spring training, probably some timing. But just came off of one of the best heaters I've ever seen. Obviously a mini slump the last couple of days, but you like to see him get the walk and then the double in his last couple of bats. You know, Don Mattingly used to say you want to keep the hot streaks hot for as long as possible and the cold streaks cold for as short as possible. So you take a 2-game cold streak from Aaron Judge if he's about to go back on another heater just in time to play the Baltimore Orioles. Jonathan with a super chat says, who do you want to see in a Yankees uniform trade deadline? I've been looking more into Tanner Scott. I like Tanner Scott. I think he'd be a nice pickup. Garrett Crochet, though, would be the guy that I would be most willing to give up a significant prospect piece for. Lefty, he's starting this year, and he's got over 100 strikeouts. I think long-term he could be a potential ace. Like, he's got that kind of stuff. He reminds me a little bit of Chris Sale. Mason Miller, there's been a lot of talk about, what would the Yankees have to give up to get him. I think that the price could be astronomical, and I say that maybe 3 days a week I would say yes, go for him, and 3 days a week I would say no, and then one day I'm kind of in between. Today's kind of an in-between day. We could use that kind of arm, but I don't know if I want to part with the price it's going to take to get him. But, all right, so let's take a few more comments here. Save situation says Tanner Scott. I agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Chase Zarowski says he wouldn't trade Spencer Jones. Spencer Jones has heated up recently at Double-A. It's worth noting. And if he's the real deal, he's got Judge size. If they've discovered how to turn massive human beings into massive home run hitters, I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough to trade him. Jedi Sith Lord says, is Jose an all-star again this year or a platinum glover? I think probably a platinum glover or at least a gold glover behind the dish. He's been fantastic. I don't know if he's going to be the all-star starter, but he's definitely got a chance. He's played great. He's played better lately. His stats on the season offensively don't blow you away. He's hitting .271, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs, .753 OPS, but that's not a big-time offensive position. And, he's above average this year in OPS in the league. So, I would definitely vote for him when I officially put in my next ballot, which will be pretty soon. I haven't cast my vote yet, so he's definitely going to be on there. I think the Yankees I'm going to vote for. I typically vote for the Yankees if they're having a great year, and if they're in the discussion, I like to give them a little boost. But I don't vote for all Yankees, right? I'm going to vote for Volpe at shortstop, but he's not going to be the starting shortstop. It's going to be Gunnar Henderson. But I'm not going to necessarily vote for Gleyber Torres at second base because I don't think he's an all-star and I want the American League to win. I'll probably go with whoever's got the best numbers at second base this year. At first base, I'm not going to vote for Rizzo. I'll pick somebody else. But I will vote for a lot of Yankees. Judge is getting the vote. Soto's getting the vote. We can't vote for pitchers. Luis Hill probably be in the game. Be interesting to see if they get anybody from the bullpen in the game like Clay Holmes. He does have great statistics this year. So, all right, let's go take some final thoughts here. Kenyon Tadlock says, love the channel. Been watching since 2020. This upcoming run of games will be a real test. Like and subscribe. I appreciate it. So good start to the weekend. No reason the Yankees shouldn't be able to take all 3 games this weekend. Orioles playing the Phillies. As we mentioned, they are in a delay, but rooting hard for the Phillies this weekend. I want the Yankees riding a heater and the Orioles riding a cold streak headed into that series so that even if it doesn't go our way, the Yankees can still get out of there with first place. If the Orioles can lose 2 out of 3, the Yankees can win 3. They'll gain a couple of games, Then you got a 4.5 game lead, even if you get swept, which I don't think they will. Yankees still in first place. That's what you want. Adley Rutschman, Salvador Perez, probably going to be the all-star. I haven't looked at the numbers. I know Adley's crazy. Salvador, yeah, we just played him. But, it's not uncommon to carry 3 catchers on the all-star team, But on a team where the Yankees, like the Yankees, where they could have so many representatives, it makes sense not to put Trevino in there. But I'll vote for him because I like him and because I want him to be on the team, but he's not going to be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it a night. A little bit tired here. We had this rain delay. Be sure to like and subscribe. We are closing in on 40,000. We're at 30,000 or 39,700 something. And, we're closing in on it. We're going to give away some Yankee tickets when we get to 40. So go ahead and do that. Follow on all of your podcast channels, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and so forth. By the way, if you have Apple Podcasts, I use these images as like audio thumbnails where it shows the image. So if you're riding in your car, it shows like the image. And something's happening with the podcast platform where it's not displaying the images on Apple, but it's showing them on Spotify. So if you like that and you miss it over the last week or so, switch over to Spotify. Doesn't hurt me at all. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you tomorrow.